sitting here, guess I didn't take well. Got time, story to tell. Started when I was 9 years old. Woke up and daddy was gone. I started hustling and couldn't tell me nothing. I'm in the hood trying to be somebody. So
Thelonious Strickland, our dad. Oh, he's a Strickland. He was incarcerated for over 20 years, which was the majority of our lives. Although he was a hustler who went to prison for marijuana, he was and still is a good guy. So today, you guys, I went live to one of his old neighborhoods. Dad was probably in prison, but it was called Oak Parks. I do not know what it's called today, but you will see one of his neighborhood. You guys know about y'all know about Terry Heights, but you don't know about the Oak Parks, and you don't know about Mason Court. But these are the three neighborhoods that he grew up in, and he said Dad was in prison during that time. The first prison is from a prison visit over 23 years ago, where he visited. Wow. The second picture is definitely recent. Now, this was written March the 16th, 2020, y'all. As a kid, I didn't blame him for what I didn't have growing up. I really didn't realize that there were things I didn't have. I wasn't an angry kid because I didn't have a father, but I was bad as hell. My son is the same way, and I'm in his life 100% of the time. Well, I noticed, what, Martel, why don't you discipline your son? You act as though you're afraid to discipline your son. Yes, we were very poor growing up, yeah. And as y'all can see, Mom kept him in decent places. Oak Park was a really decent place. Terry Heights was a decent place too. But my mom never complained, even with raising two boys alone. And to this day, she never made a legitimate comment about my dad. She must have understood the game. My father has been out of prison for several years, has been working every day, and now is leading by example. It's not about where you are. It's about where you're going. And yeah, I must compliment you. You did go to college. You did end up on Love and Marriage Huntsville. You came out of the hood, but you still got some hood mentality in you. And it's not a good thing neither. It's not a good thing. The type of hood mentality you got is not good. But when has given you the story of your life, so embrace it and have no regrets. Make your own way. Be an overcomer. Ambitious is key. Change the narrative. Be the example. Be the leader. Don't complain. Instead, figure it out and know that hard work is ahead. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Now go full speed. Certain things cannot be taught. It has to be in your heart to do. Here's a picture of Martel. Hey, this is Black Titanic. I am actually want to show y'all something. This is one of Martel. He talks about living the different areas that he lived in. This is called Oak Parks Apartment. He talked about growing up in the hood, you guys. One of the hoods was Terry Heights, as we know. But the other hood he talked about was Oak Parks Apartment. I actually lived out here too. I raised my daughters out here. This is Oak Parks Apartment. These apartments right here, if you can see these apartments, they are nice on the inside. They're huge, they're big, and it's quiet out here. They are based on your income. They're not Section 8, but they are based on your income. I don't like the color, but this is actually where I used to live at. So Okay, I'm still on. Okay, so what I'm doing is just showing y'all Oak Park's apartment. He talks about he does not want to go back to the hood. Well, one thing I can say about you, Martel, is that you did work your way out of the hood. I don't know who was the one that convinced you to go to Alabama A&M. Y'all, we have to give him his props. He did go to Alabama A&M, but you still have your mindset is still like a criminal. That's your mindset. This is Oak Park's apartment. There is not very many of them, you guys. Not many of them at all. Over there would be your Eastbrook. They used to be called Eastbrooks over there. Right here, like I said, is Oak Park's apartment. And right here on that corner is where I used to live. But I raised, see where the flowers at over there? I raised my daughters in right here, over here. As a matter of fact, I was married at the time, and I was in college. I had went back to college. And my ex was washing dishes at A&M, and I was in college. So these are your Oak Park's apartment. I don't know what they call now, y'all. They have since changed the name of them. Yeah, they changed the name. So let me go this way so y'all can see. They're not. It's not a lot of them. This is Martel Hope's old neighborhood. He talks about Terry Heights. Y'all know about Terry Heights. Y'all know about it. The sun is in the way. He talks about Terry Heights, but he never talks about Oak Park's apartment. Yes. He talks about Mason Court. These are. Hey, how are you? Hey, this where you at? I'm coming in. I gotta get my purse. Yeah, okay. One of my relatives still live out here. Yes. Okay, you guys. This is actually tuning in. Got my relative that still live here out here in the Oak Park's apartment. And you know what, you guys? I'm gonna get my purse. I'm gonna film on the inside, let y'all see how big they are. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Black. Didn't want to die young. Said he has been trying to feed my family. Scared to have kids and told like that again. Cause I'm so scared of feelings. Sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes you gotta know. Sometimes you gotta cry a little bit louder. Oh, sometimes you gotta fight the pain. Sometimes you gotta walk. Sometimes you gotta worry. Wasn't really looking as I found it. My foot green like bouncing. Coming from the university. My style looking kind of lovely. Didn't know she had much change. Down the ride out. Wouldn't take the train. Even took her to a pump game. Top notch, fried chicken and sushi. Tried to be good. Try to treat you like a lady. Try to be a friend. Turns out that you bullshit. Sometimes you get in my way. Wasn't really looking as I'm talking. My foot green like bouncing. Tell page, you guys, and see what the fans are saying. Martel, you screwed up by taking on the mysteries. Melody would be crazy to take you back. You have had outside the marriage. If your wife was not taking care of you, why did you start romancing her with special dinner, present, and compliment? Here is Martel again. This is Martel page, y'all. He still got Melody all over his page. But get this. This is funny. Martel, you went from sugar to shit. Oh my God, y'all. Over here you got Martel. He got all the different stuff on his page. The Carnival, Inez one, of course Melody, the one in the red when he says Martel hugs with Uncle Stevie. Yeah, he will be on Stevie. Anyway, this is Martel hugs you guys. Let's see, he said, Martel, you went from sugar to shit. I'm just saying. Let's see what the fans are saying about that. Let's see. I want to see. Come on now. What it says? Let's see. That's a GIF. Y'all, I'm trying to get it. Don't look like I can get the comments, but anyway. Well, you definitely went from sugar to shit, So y'all know what? Martel ended up being just like his daddy. His daddy left. That song said he woke up and daddy was gone. He did the same thing that daddy did. He left his family. He almost was in prison too. Y'all remember he allegedly about that ATM machine. But he did the same thing. He repeated that cycle, that generational dysfunction of just being irresponsible. What a lovely family. What a lovely family. He had a wife, 4 kids. And what the fans say, he went from sugar to shit. That's what they say, you guys. Right here, they are in Destin, Florida. Mel decided, or somebody convinced her, hey, one last time, let's try it. Let's see if this will work, if we could co-parent. She wanted the youngest daughter, Sugar Mama, to just have that relationship with her father. The 3 oldest ones, they have always been on vacations together with dad and mom, but not little Sugar Mama. So she was putting her daughter first. But Martel ended up being like his father. His father never did put the family first. His father always messed around on Marlene. Allegedly, his father was a womanizer, and so is Martel. So here he is. He left his home, this lovely family that he had with this woman. And what did he do? He destroyed it. And that song said, I woke up and my daddy was gone. These children has experienced the same thing that he experienced. Yet, if you go to the beginning of it, he said that, times was hard. They was poor. But this woman that he got right now, he has a different type of woman. She was molded and nurtured. She was nurtured in a different way than he was and what he had seen in his environment. So what do? She pick up the pieces and she take care of this family and she keeps them out of the ghetto. She nurtured them. And what do? He gets mad because he does not have that income that he used to have. He gets mad because he don't have the creative ability and the know-how to be as successful as his wife. Yet he was the one that destroyed the family. He don't have that income anymore. The wife was the one holding the family down. The wife was the one doing everything. Out here making business deals. Out here growing the business and still giving him children and love, a nice home. But that was not good enough because he was just like his dad. And one thing he said about that baby that he got with that mistress, he said, that baby is just like me, bad as hell. Would he break that cycle? I notice he's not trying to break that cycle with Little Knox. It don't appear that he disciplined Little Knox. It don't appear that Little Knox is being nurtured into an environment where he would not want to go out here and hustle and bustle and gangbang.
But little Tank is being nurtured by his mother in a loving environment. Little Tank is being connected with successful people, growing up in that environment where people are successful and educated and well-groomed and nourished. But this man right here chose to go back to the same environment that he knew so well growing up, from sugar to shit, and that's with his mistress. Yes, that son of mine is just like me. He said bad as hell, yet he won't do anything about it. He continue on and let the little boy be violent, just beat on everybody, beat on his mistress, beat on his children that he got by his wife. We don't see him trying to nourish that little boy and trying to break that generational curse. Woke up and daddy was gone. I started hustling out there in the streets. That's the future of little Knox if he do not discipline his child, if he do not raise this child up in a nourishing home, change this child mentality, because he had went from sugar to shit. Hey y'all, Dr. Gladys West is still alive, y'all. She is the hidden figure behind the GPS technology, and I can not talk about her well enough. This brilliant, this lady, she's just black, excellent. This is coming from Script News, y'all. Miss Gladys West. Let's spread the news about this black woman that invented the GPS technology. Nobody seems to give her credit.
Our country. Virginia native Dr. Gladys West is one of those figures, a hidden figure, in fact, whose contributions to science went unrecognized for decades because of her race and her gender. But now reporter Leland Pinder speaks with her family about her remarkable journey.
A retired Navy mathematician, Dr. Gladys West is credited with being part of the team whose work led to the development of the global positioning system, better known to just about everyone, everywhere, as GPS.
It's such a great legacy.
At 92, Dr. West is no longer doing interviews. Her grandson, Andre Jones, spoke with me on her behalf, as did her biographer, Marvin Jackson. It Began with a Dream was published last year.
This woman has so much knowledge and was just such a beautiful person.
Gladys Mae Brown was born in 1930 during the Great Depression in Dinwiddie County. Her father, a tobacco farmer, she and her siblings worked the fields in the mornings, went to school, and worked the fields in the evening. But from a young age, little Gladys was determined this would not be her position for the rest of her life.
Her mother was talking to her about, she said, you're very smart. And you can do all kinds of things. You can do anything, but you have to get an education.
West was always number one in her classes. In high school, she was valedictorian and earned a scholarship to present-day Virginia State University.
One thing that she really taught me was that your education doesn't separate you from others, but it gives you a lot more opportunities.
At VSU, she studied mathematics, earning her degree in 1952. She went back, earning a master's in 1955 after teaching in segregated Virginia public schools. In 1956, a call from the Naval Service Warfare Center, as it's known today, in Dahlgren, Virginia. Jackson says West was skeptical and initially turned down the interview.
They got back to her and said, hey, come on anyway, we're going to hire you, because your qualifications are so good.
She was only the fourth black person to be hired there. The third, Ira West, the man she would marry the following year. There were certainly challenges along the way.
People had funny ideas about her because it was their first time dealing with interviews, just like it was. But she said she had funny ideas about working with them because she had never worked with a white person before.
But West persevered, and it wasn't long before her work began to speak for itself.
She was always on the top teams, continued to get promoted numerous times as well.
West was admired for her ability to solve complex math equations by hand. She eventually began programming computers. She went on to work on multiple high-level projects, including one which led to her work laying the groundwork for GPS. Jackson says West had no idea of the significance her work would ultimately play in something so transformative.
When she found out what it was going to become, she was like, oh my gosh, she couldn't believe it.
In 2018, she was honored by the Virginia legislature and also inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneers Hall of Fame. In 2021, she was awarded the Prince Philip Medal by the Royal Academy of Engineering. So how does Dr. West feel about all this recognition so late in life?
She said, it's better now than never. So she said, now.
Hey, y'all, I want to read
In 2018, she was honored by the Virginia legislature and also inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneers Hall of Fame. In 2021.
Okay, I want to read this. She said, it is hard for me to believe that I was a little black girl on the farm who had a dream to get off the farm, get educated, and make enough money to take care of myself. And now I have realized my dreams and reached a height beyond what I anticipated. I encourage young women to believe in yourself, find your passion, keep setting new goals, and continue to strive to reach them. And most of all, follow your dream. Everybody, follow your dream. I don't even care how old you get. You still can follow your dream.
She was awarded the Prince Philip Medal by the Royal Academy of Engineering. So how does Dr. West feel about all this recognition so late in life?
She said, it's better now than never. So she said, now that they're getting it right, some other women will get acknowledged too.
Work hard, outwork everyone else, no excuses, and a strong work ethic. Just a few traits and a way of thinking Jones has inherited from his grandmother, in addition to an amazing legacy.
For my daughter, it's awesome to think that, she'll be able to write papers about her great grandmother, and I'll never forget where I've come from. And I can look back and see where she came from as well, and see the fruits of her labor pay off.
And can you even imagine the world right now without GPS?
No, I
Dr.
can't.
West.
We're still doing Black Excellence with Dr. Gladys West. There she goes right there with a cute little self. She's probably about 93, 94 right now. But even at the age of 70, I think she got a PhD. Let's just finish on giving this tribute to Hidden Figures, Gladys West. All right, y'all ready?
Providing directions to a new restaurant, or geotagging your social media pictures. Few imagine the impact GPS would have on modern society, including 88-year-old Gladys West.
I never would have thought that I could sit in a car and, it says, turn left, turn right. No.
For 42 years, Gladys was employed by the U.S. Navy. As a mathematician, she would help lay the groundwork for many of the government's orbital satellite projects. That includes what became the Global Positioning System, or what we call GPS.
We didn't do all the GPS stuff that's for the car and all, we didn't actually do that, but what we did was got the accuracy of where things were located all around the world and stuff, and it's a database.
Born in 1930, Gladys grew up on her family's farm just south of Richmond, Virginia, where she learned the value of hard work. And that would pay off for Gladys, who wanted more than what life on a country farm could offer.
You could get a scholarship if you were the first or second in your high school graduating class. So right off, I was Johnny on the spot, doing all my work all the time.
She finished at the top of her high school class, earning her a full scholarship to what was then called Virginia State College, a historically black school in Petersburg, Virginia.
The teachers were encouraging me to major in math because they thought that I would be good.
Again, Gladys finished at the top of her class and went on to complete her master's. In 1956, she accepted a job at the Naval Support Facility in Dahlgren, Virginia. space race was just taking off, and computers were the wave of the future.
It was really exciting, you know. They promised us that they would teach us, you know, how to communicate with this computer and all this stuff, you know. So, and knowing me, I was ready to, to work hard with it.
And work hard she did. With the success of the space program, NASA was beginning to place satellites into orbit. Gladys was tasked to help write and program code needed to process the enormous amount of data coming in.
You have a long equation in there, certain coefficients that go along with each term. You have to generate them and get them accurate and all. Our program encoded all those equations, and we checked them out by hand cases and all, and they were passed on to the next level.
The work was long and tedious. Every equation checked and rechecked for accuracy.
You didn't want to cause anybody else in a hold-up or in trouble about something that you had done that prevented from making progress. So you want to have to make sure that they could depend on anything that you sent.
It was this tenacity and dedication that drew the attention of fellow mathematician Ira West. The two dated for 18 months before getting married in 1957.
She wasn't an easy catch, though. Let me tell you, I had to work hard for that.
I always think of Ira.
Y'all heard that? Miss Gladys played hard to get. You go, girl.
I said he played more than I did.
Meanwhile, the civil rights movement was...
Anyway, you guys, Black Excellence goes to Miss Gladys. And what her husband say, oh, she was hard to get. She knew her worth. Baby, you got to work if you want me.